Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is an absolutely beautiful day to dive into some of the most explosive, jaw-dropping drama Genoa City has ever seen. Grab your snacks and buckle up, because the tea is scalding hot today. Oh my god, I'm screaming. I literally cannot even deal right now. Okay, but listen, you have to hear what just happened because my jaw is actually on the floor. I was eating dinner and literally choked on my water watching this absolute train wreck of a situation unfold at the Abbott mansion. Diane Jenkins is completely unhinged right now, and honestly, I am here for it, but also I am so stressed out. I mean, the level of pure, unadulterated chaos happening right now is off the charts. You think you know how dramatic these people can be, and then they go and do something that just completely breaks your brain. I had to pause and text my friend immediately because I was shaking. The audacity of everyone involved in this mess is just, wow. Oh wait, before that happened, actually, let me back up because Tracy Abbott's sweet, innocent. Usually baking cookies or writing a novel, Tracy decided she was going to step into the ring and be the family therapist today. Which is insane, by the way, because since when does anyone listen to reason in Genoa City? But Tracy literally cornered Diane. And you guys, Tracy actually went there. She brought up the ultimate trump card. Tracy looked Diane dead in the eyes and reminded her of her own incredibly dark past. She was so calm but so savage at the same time. Tracy is usually the peacemaker, but today she chose violence, and I am honestly living for this new era of Tracy not taking anyone's nonsense. I forgot to mention earlier, but Tracy literally reminded Diane that she faked her own death. Yes, finally, someone actually said it out loud. Tracy was like, Jack made a mistake, but Diane, you literally pretended to be a corpse and let everyone mourn you. The audacity of Diane to act like she is a flawless saint when she literally plotted a whole fake murder. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, Tracy is spitting straight facts. She told Diane that Jack's situation with Patty was a mistake, but Diane's fake death was a completely planned, calculated deception. I was literally cheering for Tracy from my living room. She did not hold back, and it was so dramatic. But Diane, oh my god, Diane is not having it. She is screaming, and I am yelling at my screen right back at her. Diane is like, he wanted me to forget that I caught him in bed, completely naked with Patty Williams, and honestly, she has a point. I mean, can you imagine walking in and seeing your husband with Patty Williams of all people? I would literally lose my mind. Victor drugging Jack and setting him up with Patty on that abandoned yacht is seriously the most unhinged thing Victor has ever done. And don't even get me started on that because Victor is an absolute menace to society, but Diane's trauma is so real. She literally told Tracy she does not want to hear a single word about Jack's feelings or his remorse. She does not care. She is a brick wall of pure rage right now. At this point, I'm yelling at my screen because Diane is being so stubborn. But also, how do you unsee your husband naked with a psycho? Tracy is trying so hard to defend her brother, saying Jack made a mistake, but Diane is just vibrating with anger. Tracy points out that Diane's deception was completely planned out, and like Jack, who was literally drugged out of his mind, but Diane is just not processing logic right now. She needs to get it together, I swear. Tracy eventually realizes she is talking to a wall and leaves the room, leaving Diane alone with her spiraling thoughts. Okay, where was I? Right. So after Tracy drops her truth bombs and leaves, Kyle is there. Poor, sweet Kyle. He is always caught in the middle of his parents' messy, toxic drama. Diane actually turns to Kyle and admits that his Aunt Tracy isn't wrong. Which, wow, growth. I was shocked she actually admitted that. But then she immediately backtracks and says she still can't forgive Jack because the image of him in bed with Patty is literally haunting her. She tells Kyle, he was still in bed with her when we caught him, and you can just hear the absolute heartbreak and disgust in her voice. It's actually so tragic when you think about it. But also I'm like, Diane, please look at the bigger picture. Kyle, who honestly looks like he hasn't slept in 10 years because of all this family trauma, asks her the million-dollar question. He asks what it will actually take for her to forgive Jack. And Diane just looks so defeated, so broken, and she says, I don't know, and I wish I did. My jaw dropped. Because if Diane doesn't even know what it will take to fix this, then this marriage is actually doomed. I'm calling it now. This is going to end badly. Kyle just wants his family intact, but Diane is too blinded by her own hurt to even see a path forward. It's so sad. But also, I'm glued to the screen eating my popcorn. Cut to the next scene, and Diane is literally walking down the stairs with a suitcase. A suitcase. I was like, are you serious right now? She is actually packing up more of her stuff. She is so done. The dramatic energy of walking down a grand staircase with luggage is so iconic. Honestly, she's not just leaving, she's making a statement. She is dragging that suitcase down those Abbott stairs like she is starring in her own tragic movie, and I am hanging onto every single step. And then, the doorbell rings. I am holding my breath. I literally stop chewing my food. Diane walks over, opens the door, and who is standing there? Nikki Newman. Nikki freaking Newman. I can't breathe. I am dead. Why would she do that? Nikki showing up at Diane's door right now is literally poking a bear with a stick while wearing a meat suit. It is the worst possible idea in the history of ideas. Nikki asks if Diane is leaving because she's worked everything out, and Diane is just glaring daggers at her. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a chainsaw. Diane tells Nikki no, she hasn't worked anything out. She's just packing more of her belongings. And Nikki, get this, you guys are not going to believe the sheer nerve of this woman. Nikki says they need to talk and she wants to help. I am screaming. Nikki Newman wanting to help Diane Jenkins. That is the most fake, condescending thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Diane's reaction was everything. She literally tells Nikki that her help is the absolute last thing she wants on this planet. She says, trust me, there is nothing you can do to make things go back to normal. And she is so right. Nikki needs to back entirely off. At this point, Diane is practically foaming at the mouth. She is so sick of everyone treating Jack like a victim. She screams at Nikki that nobody forced Jack to get into bed with Patty. Which, again, he was drugged. But Diane is so blinded by her own fury that she doesn't care about the details. She is just letting loose years of pent-up aggression. I was literally leaning into my TV screen because the physical tension between them was insane. There was a moment, I swear to you, where Diane looked so furiously enraged that I thought she was going to slap Nikki right across the face. Like, a full-on, open-handed soap opera slap to make her shut up. The urge to just smack Nikki was radiating off Diane in waves. And then Diane delivers the absolute best read of the century. She completely switches gears and calls out the weird, toxic, codependent relationship between Nikki and Jack. She asks Nikki what is going on between them and why they have this unhealthy need to always fix each other's lives. And she is so right. Jack and Nikki are always running to save each other, and it literally causes 90% of the messes in Genoa City. Diane dragging their dynamic was iconic. She basically told Nikki that their weird savior complex is exactly what led to this massive mess in the first place. The audacity. Not okay. I'm done. I was cheering for Diane so hard right here. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, Diane is just relentlessly tearing into Nikki. She tells her that she is sick of this whole saving routine. Diane is standing there with her suitcase, her life falling apart, and she looks Nikki up and down with pure disgust. She tells Nikki to go focus on her own miserable and happy marriage instead of trying to be a savior for Jack and Diane. Boom. Roasted. Destroyed. Nikki's marriage to Victor is a complete disaster right now, especially since Victor is the one who orchestrated this whole yacht nightmare. So Diane hitting her where it hurts was just chef's kiss. Perfect execution. No notes. Finally, Diane delivers the ultimate finishing move. After completely verbally annihilating Nikki and telling her to go fix her own miserable life, Diane doesn't even wait for a response. She just glares at Nikki's stunned, frozen face, and bam, she slams the door right in her face. A literal door slam. I jumped off my couch. It was so loud and so final. Nikki was just left standing on the porch looking like she just got hit by a truck, and Diane is inside probably vibrating with adrenaline. Seriously, this episode took years off my life. Mark my words, the fallout from this door slam is going to be catastrophic, and Victor is going to lose his mind when he hears about it. I cannot wait for tomorrow's episode. I am literally counting down the minutes.